Good afternoon, butt kickers. It's August 28th, the 240th day of 2011, which means that 54 years ago today, U.S. Senator Strom Thurmond began a filibuster to prevent the Senate from voting on the Civil Rights Act of 1957. For those of you unfamiliar with the rules of legislation in the United States, one thing that senators are perfectly allowed to do is stall. As long as a senator can blab on about any number of things, even stuff entirely tangential to the impending vote, the vote can be stalled until the vast majority of the other senators finally say, "Okay, dude, seriously, shut up." And because being a long-winded jerk doesn't sound particularly professional, the Senate calls such an action a filibuster. In the aforementioned case, Strom Thurmond yacked on all by himself for 24 hours and 18 minutes straight, even lurching towards topics as incongruous as his grandma's biscuit recipe, all because he didn't want to pee in the same room that black people peed in. And you people with your barely pejorative slurs think you're adequately racist. Well, let me tell you, you're no Strom Thurmond. And you know what kind of flour my grandmammy made those delicious biscuits with? That's right, white flour. White flour, white flour, white flour. I wonder what the world would be like if filibusters were allowed in all aspects of life. Here's my term paper, all finished. Although I couldn't come up with a conclusion yet, so starting on page 15 and going through page 235, I just talk in excruciating detail about which toilet paper brand I prefer and why. The way I see it, you'll probably get done reading that by class time tomorrow, and by then I'll either have my conclusion completed or 200 more pages about who knows what. Welcome, gentlemen. Glad you could make it. Unfortunately, I do not have the pitch that I was supposed to have prepared for today completed yet, so for the next 3 hours or so, I'm just going to juggle these beanbags. Oh yeah, about that construction you wanted completed by today. Well, I'll get to that, but first I'd like to tell you a little story. I like to call it the Bible. Chapter 1. In the beginning, good afternoon, butt kickers. It's August 28th, the 240th day of 2011, which means that yesterday was August 27th, the 239th day of 2011, which means that the day before that was August 26th, the 238th day of 2011, which means that the day before that was August 25th, the 237th day of 2011, which means, do you see what I mean, butt kickers? Which, if you don't, I'm sorry, but I can't make that any less subtle. Nothing would get done. And those were just unimportant things like grades, sales pitches, and construction. The only aspect of society where stalling is by and large allowed is in arguably its most important one. Racial equality in the United States arrived one day later because some racist crotch puncher wouldn't shut his mouth. And I'm not trying to diss a time-honored political stratagem. I'm just saying that if you take it out of context, it's pretty gosh darn ridiculous. Until tomorrow, I'm Griff, and I'm still talking, but not in the stalling forever kind of way.